Good morning. So, I'm hopping on here today. I wanted to share some words of encouragement with you all. It feels like it has been forever since I've done that. It's been a busy week here at the AG household, and so I barely had enough time to show up anyway. So, but my words of encouragement today are kind of words to myself as well as to you all. And it comes from the place of, that I have chosen 2024 as my year of joy. And that means seeking joy and figuring out what brings me joy. And yeah. And I find it interesting how God will give me um, the encouragement that I need through others in my life. So this week, I had a couple of friends I had a conversation with a couple of friends. That's basically it. And they have been going through some stuff. I think we all go through stuff. It's not heavy stuff. It's just it's just life, whatever. But we tend to make it kind of heavy, right? We kind of tend to dwell on it, and it can really mess up our emotions, really, and get our emotions all worked up and excited and whatnot. Which is why controlling our emotions is so important. Y'all have heard me talk on that. Um, is because sometimes the problem's not really that big. It's just our emotions get involved, and especially for especially for those of us who um, care a lot for those around us, care so much for our family and our friends, and we kind of have that protective spirit. So sometimes when they're going through something, it can really affect us in our day to day, like our feelings and how we handle the things that are our own if we're carrying someone else's burden. Which there's nothing wrong with that. Not we all, but some of us, we do that, and it's honorable to be able to do that. But some of the words of advice that I had ended up sharing with these friends was to do something for them, not to rest. I mean, you guys know how I advocate for rest, but in this journey of seeking joy in everything this year, I am learning that there's more to life than just work and rest. And sometimes we have to just do something that makes us happy. Now, if taking a nap makes you happy, then take a nap. But what I'm really talking about in this situation is if I don't know, if it's projects that you've started and finishing them will make you happy, then finish the project. That's what I'm talking about. If, I don't know, starting up a business will make you happy, then start the business. If something like, I don't know, writing a book, if that'll make you happy, then write the book. If writing poetry or singing music or making music, playing an instrument, whatever it is that brings you joy, do that. Maybe it's a shopping trip with your mom or your best friend or somebody close to you. Maybe it's going out and getting your hair done and inviting your friend to come and hang out with you. I don't know. But let it be whatever makes your heart sing, whatever brings you joy. And sometimes life will offer up opportunities to find that joy. And things just kind of slow down for us, and our circumstances change drastically, and we're not used to it. So it can be a very scary situation, uncertain situation, but we can take that opportunity to just take care of ourselves in that moment. And I don't mean like resting. I don't mean that. I mean taking care of ourselves and doing the one thing that's going to bring us joy and happiness. What is fulfilling to you? Like, one of the reasons I do so much in my church is because it's fulfilling to me to serve others. So I like to be able to do that often. And to be quite honest with you, my life is pretty much full of things that bring me joy. On the occasion, there might be something that is stressful, or I don't want to say something I don't like to do, because I feel like I have worked hard to create this life, and I am striving harder for it to be the more complete dream. And there are times when my schedule gets too full, and then I become stressed out, and then it seems like work, but in reality, when I stop and think about it, it's like, these things bring me joy. They bring me happiness. And to be honest, would I want a different life? I wouldn't. My servant heart says, you wouldn't do it any other way. So I know that I am doing what brings me joy most days. I know that, now I admit, cleaning my house and stuff does not, that work in itself doesn't bring me joy, but having a clean house, that brings joy, you know? So maybe there's things that are mundane that we have to do, but the outcome of that task brings us joy and happiness and fulfillment. And so that's all I want to encourage today, is that you find what makes your heart sing. Last year I figured that out, like what really, really, really makes my heart sing. And now I'm trying to turn that into something bigger. No, I don't know that bigger is the right word, but like, I know it brought me joy, and there's a way to not do it bigger, but do it more often. How about that? That's what because I had the opportunity to do it a couple of times in this past year, and it really, I mean, sometimes until you do something, you don't really know you don't really know that you would enjoy it. In fact, some things can be downright scary, you know, but once you do it and you find out, oh my gosh, I feel at home here. Like, this is what I was created to do. Now, for me in my situation, scary thing is making it real, making it happen, you know? And it's scary for a couple of reasons. It's scary first because it's unknown territory. And it's scary second because it's putting myself out there. And I truly have to believe that I'm qualified or skilled enough to do it. And I think a lot of us deal with that. You know, we know what we enjoy doing, but because we've seen other people do it better than where we're starting at, that can stop us from going on ahead and doing what we need to do. But what we don't realize is those people that we see doing it, first off, they're not you. They do it different than you because they're not you. And secondly, they started somewhere too. They weren't perfect to start with. They had to learn just like you will. And I think that we learn not only the skills, but also the um, the information that we need to do what we're called to do what makes our heart so happy and satisfied. And another like ongoing theme that I kept hearing and seeing this week was um, to use what you have at your disposal, to use what you already have. God, um, what did I say? It's like God gave Moses the staff, but Moses had to put the staff in the water to part the sea. You know what I'm saying? So he couldn't, you know, he had to do it God's way, of course. But God gave him the staff, and then he told him what to do with the staff, right? And God gave him the words to say to Pharaoh. And so we got to take what God gives us and use that for His glory and His purpose. Sometimes it doesn't look like what we think it should look like. Sometimes it doesn't, we think it's not going to do what we want it to do, right? But if we just trust that God has equipped us for the task that He has given us, if we just trust that and lean into that, you will be amazed at what comes of it, what comes out of it, the fruit that is bared from that work. For like me, I'm starting small, very, very small, because that's what I have at my disposal right now. But I trust and believe that God is going to make a way, that He will, He's guiding my path. I think we all forget that we do have to start small sometimes. Probably most of the time we start small. Everyone who has ever done great things started out small. They didn't start out great. Some of us have some lessons to learn before we can become the best version of ourselves. Some of us have a lot of work to do on ourselves. Some people, I don't know. I will say, some people seem to get it right on the first try. And I don't know why that is. I don't know what reason there is for that. But I know that what it does is, for those of us who have to do a little more work, it is something that makes us work that much harder. Like, we have to overcome it. Like, we fight with ourselves, like, well, why can they get it right the first time and I have to try so hard and work so hard? And there's lessons in that. And we learn that, oh, well, I had stuff that I had to overcome, and one of them is feeling entitled to being somebody who achieves it right away. So, I just encourage you to do what brings you joy today. One small step, one small act that brings you joy. Not rest, not work. Well, it can't. See, that's where it gets kind of murky, because sometimes some of us truly love what we do. We love our jobs. And that can be like a gray area. It gets mixed up. Like, well, I really love what I do, so doesn't that bring me joy? It does, but it does. I guess that counts. But try to do something else that brings you joy. It can't be the only thing that brings you joy, right? And seek to create a life that is full of joy, that everything that you do brings you joy and makes you happy. Yeah, life happens and things suck, but if what we are doing brings us joy, then we can always hold on to that. You know what I mean? Like when times get tough, you'll be like, well, I'm going to work today, but at least I love my job, right? So it's not like you got a crappy job and life is throwing you curveballs, and then you have to go to work and you're like, I really hate my job. I really hate this. Like, no, do something that you enjoy. Do something that I hope that you have a job or find a job that brings fulfillment to you. And if it's not a job, then it better be a hobby. And do that hobby. Oh man, dive so deep into that, because we need joy. We need work and we need play. And we need rest from work and play. So that's why I say rest is different. That's not what I'm talking about today. Today, I guess I'm talking about play. So do something that feels good, that brings you joy, and that brings you a sense of peace, because overall that's what you're going to feel is peace and joy and love. Yeah. So play today. That's what I'm trying to say. All right. Have an awesome, incredible day. Love you all.